Good morning, Excellence family. Today is Title Tuesday. I hope that your week has started off well. I am here with Paul Sarone, our title attorney. Good morning, Paul. How are you today?
Good morning. Good, Christina. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. A little hot outside, but we can
At
with
the
our
least.
heat
Yeah.
advisory going on. Well, we
Yeah.
have a very hot topic today. State Bill 264, changes in the Florida law to the FARBAR contract that Paul is going to help us with regarding foreign buyers and seller conveyances. And it is a hot topic as it's still kind of settling out to see, exactly how we navigate this change. So, Paul, you're our expert. Tell us more.
Yeah. So, expert or no expert right now, there's not a lot of guidance to go by. We can just go by the text of the law, what we're assuming is going to be implemented, and assuming this remains the law. But the important thing is, I want everybody to be educated as to what it covers, who it covers, and what you can and can't do now as agents to protect your clients, your sellers, and yourselves going forward. So the first thing is, the people are calling me. They're like, "What's this law?" They, especially being in South Florida, there's a lot of Venezuelans, there's Russians, there's Cubans who buy real estate here. So how does that impact your business is the main thing. How do you protect yourself? So the first thing is the law is in place. It's supposed to protect, our government, basically, the United States, from influence from foreign countries that are called countries of concern or listed in the bill. So these countries are China, Russia, Iran, Cuba, Venezuela, and North Korea. So purchases of real estate by either, it doesn't have to be a government official, it could be just somebody from there who is not a citizen or lawful permanent resident of the United States. Important to know those people are exempt. So I had a call the other day from a realtor who's dealing with a listing, and they got an offer from a Chinese buyer, and they said, "Look, I don't even know how to ask this person if they're a Chinese, if they're from China or they're a lawful resident here. That's kind of like feels weird asking them." Like, well, they have to sign the contract. There's a part of the FARBAR now that refers to this law where you're certifying that they're not foreign. So that's the first thing. You don't have to go around asking as an agent, "Hey, do you have a green card here? Are you a resident? Are you citizens of people?" Just because they may be from another country. That is part of the contract, and there is an affidavit that gets signed at closing as well. So people have to be from those countries, not be permanent resident or citizen of the U.S. And the real estate that's affected is agricultural land and real property around military installations, and this is the part where it gets tricky, is critical infrastructure, which can be anything from power plants, refineries, water treatment facilities, gas plants, so airports. So 10 miles of that is a pretty broad range and covers a lot, especially in urban areas. It's going to cover a lot of your real estate. So those are the properties that are affected. So if you're dealing with foreign buyers from another country that are purchasing property, it's hard to know. I mean, how are you going to know if it's within 10 miles of it? So right now, agents are just avoiding those buyers. Basically, is what's happening. So there's going to be part of the contract that certifies that the person does not fall within the criteria of this bill. That gets signed by the buyer and the seller. And then there's also going to be an affidavit that gets signed at closing, saying everyone understands this law and we're in compliance with it. So what are the penalties provided in this law? That's the part where we don't know yet how this is going to be enforced and what it's going to look like. And right now there's challenges to this law in the court. There's been some courts already who held it unconstitutional. We don't know if it's going to get repealed. We don't know if it's going to get tweaked. Right now, this is all brand new. So this is all subject to change. I'm telling you this today. I might be on here again a couple of Title Tuesdays from now telling you this law is gone or this law has changed, or now we know what's going on. But basically, the way the law reads, it ranges anywhere from misdemeanors to felonies or forfeiture of property for buyers and sellers. Yeah. So if you're a seller and you knowingly sell, let's say, Miami, you're selling the property to somebody from Venezuela that you know doesn't have a social security number, isn't a resident here, and you say, hey, I just need to sell my house. I don't care who it is. I think this law is dumb. Well, you could be on the hook legally. So that's important to know as listing agents, especially, and as agents if you're working with buyers who are foreign, as is the case here. I do a lot of closings for people from all over the world, and this is a great place to invest in Florida in real estate. And so you have to be careful as a buyer agent now. Make sure that your clients are aware of this law and that they're very limited in what property they can buy now. Doesn't mean they can't buy property, but the way it reads it's very tricky as to what they can buy. So I mean that's all I could say for now. Is don't be afraid of it. If the person is a lawful resident or citizen of the United States, doesn't matter where they were born. Once they've got, once they're legal here and they're a resident, they're fine to buy real estate anywhere that they want. This only applies to true foreign investors from these countries that I mentioned in the beginning that are labeled as countries of concern. So yeah, I mean, that's where we're at right now. I hope that clears up some of it. I know it's not, what everybody wants to hear, but right now, anybody who tells you this is how it's going to work doesn't know it. I don't think anybody knows until we get, but nobody wants to be the person that's that first case that violates this law and is made an example of, and then everybody knows what to do because of your case. So, again, this means, these little nuances in our laws and things like that are the reason why it's important to work with attorneys who can guide you, because you don't want to rely on your interpretation of a bill and move forward on that. And then, if that's what the attorneys are here for. An experienced attorney who's on top of this is an important thing to have always, but especially with this type of issue that's coming up now.
Well, Paul, we really appreciate your guidance. I mean, that's why Paul is here. That's why Xcellence Title is here, to support our agents exclusively. And if in doubt, I always say, ask, question, have Paul take a look at it, because you don't want to be, like he said, that first case, God forbid. Like you said, it's changing from day to day. So just because we know what it is today doesn't mean next week you're going under contract and something else changes. Now your potential buyer's looped in somehow with a change. So run it by us. I mean, that's why we're here. We pride ourselves on serving you. We are here. You can reach out by phone, 305-595-7355, the option for title, or you can also email us at support@xcellencetitle.com. And I think, Paul, you like it when they are very specific about a scenario. You need to review something. An email with all the logistics and all the important information is critical. So you can take a look at it and give us your take on it, right?
Yeah, usually the email scenario is the best way, and I'll respond to it in writing. And out there, if there's a confusion, it's usually more efficient for me, because sometimes I may be with a client or in a closing, not available by phone, and then you tell me your exact details and your scenario. I can try to guide you the best that I can based on what we know.
Well, and we appreciate it so much. You're always there for us. We're always reaching out with ideas, suggestions. What would you do here? And you've always given us the clear and right path. So we really appreciate that. I want to thank you so much for your time this morning, and always just being there, guiding us accordingly.
Anytime.
Thank you, Paul. So
all right,
everyone out there, please don't hesitate to reach out. It's great to touch base with all of you, and we wish you a fantastic week. Thank you. Bye.